Okay, we are going to apply what we learned, apply that to our face. And the nose is really drawn with a lot of shading. The bridge of the nose is formed with just shading. Inner corner of the eye, and that creates the bridge of the nose. And we could take a look at the structure of the bridge of the nose. For some people, it's very angular, and others, it's there's just very gentle slopes that form the nose. So here's an example right here in this handout. You can kind of see that the basic structure of the nose, they say, is the top and the two side planes, and then the bottom. So it almost looks like a rectangular box that's narrower at the top. But the nose has curves as well. So you have to kind of create the nostrils on the bottom. Or you can even say the nostril and the tip of the nose is a big circle with two large circles on the sides. You could also break down the structure of just that area into spheres. So that's just how this particular illustrator tries to convey how three-dimensional the nose is, but not everybody has these kind of sharp angles in their nose. So for the bottom of my nose, I'm going to, right where the nose line is, I'm going to treat that like the tip of my nose. That's where the tip of my nose is, because I'm looking at this specific face, and I feel like if I ended the nose right there, the nose would be a little bit too short. So I'm going to create a little soft V shape right below that point. And instead of coming to a sharp V shape, I could come to a little rounded, like a little rounded V shape, if that makes any sense. Just a softer shape for the bottom of the nose. That's the septum area right there. Some people actually make it flat. You can make like a little flat line and then have it go up. Either way is fine. I like to draw my nostrils like two sideways teardrops. They're kind of like, how shall I say it? Like here. It's like a little sideways teardrop shape like that. Okay. Your nostril is never an open oval like that. That's a no-no, because we're looking at the nostril opening from an angle, a certain angle, which doesn't show like the whole this diameter of the opening. And also it's not an oval shape. It's usually something a little bit more organic. So now we're going to draw the ala, which is the skin that surrounds the nostril. I'm putting also a little bit of skin surrounding, kind of curving around the bottom of the nostril opening. Make sure you leave a little space there so it's not like right up against the side of the nostril. So you can't get this wrong. Like if you make a nose that's large or small, unless it's like incredibly small, or like you know, as wide as the face or something like that, you can't get the nose wrong, because everybody's nose is different. You know, we have big noses, small noses, medium noses, wide noses, narrow noses. So you just can't get that wrong. There's somebody out there who's going to have that kind of shaped nose. That's what I'm saying. There's a chance that somebody out there has that nose. Okay. So that's my nose right over there. And right now, I don't really see the bridge of the nose. So we are going to create the bridge of the nose through our use of shading. So I'm just going to create these little diagonal lines that go off to the side like that. And as I come down to the top of the ala, I'm going to kind of bring that line outward a little bit so that there's almost like a triangle shape right here. Just make the shading follow along the sides of the triangle. So it's a little bit narrower up here at the bridge of the nose. Can you have the bridge of someone's nose be a little wider? Sure. You know, so everybody's nose is different. Okay. And I can kind of, you could also, like, if you wanted to kind of draw a little curl at the top of the ala, that's up to you. Some people have that look. And then right here, I'm going to start shading the bottom of my nose now. This area right above the septum, I'm just going to draw, I'm going to start shading using these little curvy lines like that. And that's going to help describe the tip of my nose right here. There's a little bit of shading on the side right here where the center of the nose, the tip of the nose, or the apex, that also has a name. It's called the apex. And apex just means the top or the tip of something. It could be used to generally describe the tip of anything. That's what apex means. Okay, so I'm just like going to put a little bit of shading there. I'm also going to put a little bit of shading along the outside of the ala and underneath here, like that. Just on the lower, just overall the lower part of the nose. And also I'm going to draw, put some more dark shading, especially at the top of these little teardrop shapes, to show the nose opening being a little bit darker. Please don't fill them in like completely black, or they're going to look like the person was like breathing in some sort of coal dust. Now I'm taking my blender. If you don't have a blender, you could use a paper towel folded into a little triangle or a cone. And I'm going to use the blender to kind of describe the bags of the eyes, the lower eyelid bags. And of course, to describe the shading or the shadow on the side of the dorsum and the bridge of the nose. The bridge is up here, the dorsum's in the center, and the apex or the tip of the nose is right here, right above the bottom of the nose, the underside of the nose tip, which is called the septum. Okay, so that's how and you can put a little bit of shading around the nostril too. Okay, if you want the nostril, this area of the nose to look thinner, you could just bring the shading in a little further. A little makeup tip if you feel like, you know, you don't want your nose to look a little wider, you want it to somehow look a little bit pointier or narrower, you could just put a little bit of darker makeup down there, like on the side, and then bring it up a little bit more. You know those videos. You know you can't help watching those makeup videos. I'm just kidding. Sometimes I actually caught myself watching them. The transformation, basically what they're doing is using value, using like different shades of skin tone makeup, and they're just kind of creating an illusion with value. Now, right here under where the tip of the nose is, where we put a lot of shading down here right below, I'm going to take my eraser and just very lightly put in erase a little bit in there. And then with a clean blender, if I can find a clean blender, just darken it back up just slightly, but there's still a little light area there. And that little light area is going to represent some reflected light. You know, there's always light inside dark as well. And that sounds like some sort of a very deep and meaningful piece of advice or saying. But there really is. There can be light even within an area of darkness when you are drawing. And that light is called reflected light. Okay. So that's how to shade the nose. Now your person has a nose. We're going to draw the lips first. So let's take a look at the lips.